get a human birth. However, can you imagine that someone would be delighted even if he got a crow's body? Today we shall hear the story of Kak Bhushundi. As we know, the time unfolds in the form of yugas. There are 4 yugas, the Satyuga, the Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga, followed by the great dissolution or Pralaya. And after this, the yugas start rolling out again. In Kali Yuga, long back, in the holy city of Ayodhya, there lived a person. He belonged to the weaker sections of society. However, he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. The only surprising and sad part was that there was not an iota of love in his heart for Sri Ram. Though he was born in Ayodhya, the love for Sri Ram was not yet born in his heart. And so it went on, till once there was a huge famine, and in search of food and better prospects, this person, whom we shall call Bhushundi, left Ayodhya and went to Ujjain. In Ujjain, a kind Brahmin gave him shelter. That Brahmin was also a Shiv Bhakt, but at the same time, he had love for all the devotees and all the forms of the Lord. And so, he began treating Bhushundi as his own son. He noticed that Bhushundi would not have any affection for even the name of Sri Ram. And so he often explained to him, even Lord Shiva adores Sri Ramchandra ji. And the result of worship to Lord Shiva is devotion to the feet of Sri Ram. But Bhushundi wouldn't listen. One day, when Bhushundi was sitting in the temple and praying to his dear Lord Shiva, his guru entered. This Brahmin who had given him shelter had also imparted a lot of spiritual knowledge to him. And so, as his guru came in, it was the duty of a disciple to stand up and show respect. However, Bhushundi continued sitting and continued his worship of Lord Shiva. The guru did not mind, but Lord Shiva was enraged. There was a voice that echoed, which said, "Oh wretch, oh fool, don't you know that you ought to stand up and show respect to your guru? I curse you that you shall become a python and lie in some hollow of some tree down on earth." Hearing this, the guru was petrified. His heart was moved by compassion and he cried out to Shambho. He sang verses in praise of Lord Shiva and begged him to show compassion. Now, as we know, Lord Shiva is Bholenath. His heart melts so easily when his devotees cry out to him. And so Lord Shiva told Bhushundi that yes, I have cursed you, but I will change my curse so that it proves to be a blessing, just because of the grace of your Guru. And because of his request, I assure you that you shall develop devotion to Sri Ram. You will be able to go and take many births. In fact, after 1,000 births, you will become a Brahmin and you will get the knowledge about Sri Ram. None of these births or deaths will be painful to you. You will be able to move wherever you wish. You can go now. And so, Bhushundi became a python. He soon changed forms without much difficulty till, as was the blessing, he was born as a Brahmin. Meanwhile, the love for Sri Ram had begun growing in his heart. In fact, by now it had become a burning desire, so that he wanted to know where he could find Sri Ram and how he would look and how he would be able to pray to him. In search of this knowledge, he went from ashram to ashram, met many holy men, and to each one he would ask, "Please tell me the story of Sri Ram. Tell me more about how I can find him." And in this search, he reached the mountains of the Himalayas. Behind Mount Sumeru, there was a great holy sage by the name of Lomasha Rishi. He went and surrendered at the feet of this sage and begged him to explain how he could see the form of Sri Ram. Now, sage Lomasha was a realized master, so he knew that the supreme or the infinite was not bound by form, space, time, and so he told him, "Why do you seek the form of the Lord? Pray to the infinite. Try to understand that essence of the supreme." However, Bhushundi would not listen. He kept pestering the sage, telling him, "Please tell me, once I have got this human body, isn't it a waste if I am not able to sing the bhajans of Sri Ram? If I am not able to see his form, if I am not able to hear his glories, please tell me what I seek." Now, Lomasha Rishi got angry because he was trying to explain the highest truth while Bhushundi kept asking him about the knowledge of an embodied Lord. And so, now Lomasha cursed Bhushundi. He said, "Just like a crow, you keep asking me doubts, so you become one." Now, Bhushundi, though he immediately got transformed into a crow, fluttered his wings and fell at the feet of this Rishi. The Rishi was amazed that the devotion that Bhushundi had was so true that he did not get angry. And so, calling out to him, he said, "Kak Bhushundi, come here. I will give you the mantra of the great Sri Ramachandra ji. I will teach you how to meditate upon him, and I will describe his form too." And so, happily Kak Bhushundi got the knowledge about where he would find his beloved Sri Ram. He also got a blessing from the sage that he could go wherever he wished, take any form that he wanted, and the time or Kal would never touch him. Happily Kak Bhushundi flew away. He flew to the peaks of the Himalayas, to a mountain known as Nilagiri, the Blue Mountain with 4 golden peaks. There were trees of the peepal, the mango, the fig and the banyan. Sitting under these trees, he would do japa, he would meditate, he would do Manasa Puja, and he would also often narrate the story of Sri Ramachandra ji to all the birds who would assemble there. He had heard about this story from the great sage Lomasha, and now he enjoyed recounting this story to whoever would care to listen to it. In fact, Lord Shiva himself, once in the guise of a swan, came to hear the beautiful story of Ramayana from Kak Bhushundi. Now, Kak Bhushundi would wait for the time when it would be Treta Yuga again, when it would be time for Sri Ram to be born in Ayodhya again, and then he would fly off. He would witness the holy spectacle of Ramchandra ji's birth. He would revel in his childhood pranks and then wait in Ayodhya till he turned to the age of 5. In fact, there would be many a time when Ramchandra ji would also play with this crow. Kak Bhushundi would gather the crumbs. When little Ram would eat, the crumbs would fall around, and then collecting those crumbs, Kak Bhushundi would eat it as prasad. However, once a sudden doubt plagued him, because he could see that the baby Ram would sometimes cry, sometimes smile, sometimes look at the crow, try to touch him, and sometimes run away. So he wondered, could this really be the mighty Lord Vishnu? Could he really be the divine? He acts and plays just like an ordinary child. The minute this doubt came into his mind, Sri Ramchandra ji began his Leela. And so, when the crow started flying away, Sri Ramchandra ji's hand stretched out behind him. The arm grew in length. The crow flew higher and higher till he reached Brahmalok. And when he turned behind, he could see that Sri Ram's hand was just 2 finger breadths away from him. How was this possible? He flew here and there, went to all the worlds, and then in fright closed his eyes. When he opened his eyes, he was in Ayodhya again. And then little Ram was smiling a sweet smile. The smile was so beautiful that it enveloped Bhushundi. And soon Kak Bhushundi found himself within Sri Ramchandraji's body. The baby Ram had taken the entire saint into his belly, and inside that Kak Bhushundi could see multiple cosmoses. He could see mountains, valleys, rivers, oceans, stars, suns, moons, and innumerable infinite beings. He could see all the devatas. He could not make out whether this was real. What was he seeing? And so he cried out, "Save me, O Lord, I do not understand what is happening to me." This was Maya. This was the delusion that clouds our minds when doubts arise in our heart, when we start losing faith in the Lord. But the minute we cry out and ask the Lord to help us, the Lord immediately pushes Maya away. And so Kak Bhushundi came out, and he saw the baby Ram laughing at him. Lovingly, Sri Ram put his hand on the head of Kak Bhushundi and then asked him, "I want to give you a boon. Ask, what do you wish? Do you want lots of wealth, all types of nidhi? Or do you want supernatural powers, all types of siddhis? Or do you wish for moksha, which means permanent happiness and no sorrow whatsoever?" Now, Kak Bhushundi started wondering. He thought, Ramji has offered me everything, but did not offer me devotion. What use is anything of this without devotion? And so, he begged of Sri Ram. He said, "If it pleases you, please bless me with everlasting devotion." And hearing this, Lord Ram was so happy. He said, "You shall always be dear to me. You shall have everlasting devotion. And in addition to that, you will be a storehouse of all possible virtues. You will have knowledge, you will have detachment, and you will have love only for the Lord." With this blessing, Lord Ram again became the small baby that he was and started playfully playing with his playmates. And Kak Bhushundi, having got darshan of the great Lord, went back. After witnessing the childhood playtimes of the Lord, reached his ashram. He was blessed by the Lord that Maya would no longer touch him and nor reach the place of his ashram. And so, he continued reveling in the thoughts about Sri Ram, sitting in his ashram, and kept spreading the word of the holy Ramayana. In fact, once the king of birds, the mount of Sri Vishnu, Garuda himself, came and had satsang with Kak Bhushundi, because even he was plagued by doubts. How was it possible that the great divine Sri Vishnu, playing the role of Ram, was bound by serpents thrown by Indrajit? And so he came to clarify. Coming into the ashram of Kak Bhushundi, all the doubts vanished, and then he had a great time where he was given a lot of knowledge by the holy, noble crow saint Kak Bhushundi. Even today, Kak Bhushundi lives on. He waits for the time when it will be Treta Yuga again, when in the holy city of Ayodhya, Ramchandra ji will be born, and he can revel in the childhood pranks and the childhood Leelas of the Lord once again. So, the next time you look at a crow, maybe it is the holy crow saint Kagbhushandi. Think about it. If you like the story today, do share it with your family and friends, and we will keep hearing more such stories week after week. Until we meet again, Hari Om.